Kayla, it is so great seeing you. And I love the fact of what you've got set up for folks who are watching this whole interview on Rudy Blair Entertainment Media, rudyblairmedia.com. Of course, we're doing Zoom. And I've got a virtual recording studio. And Kayla was nice enough to go, hey, let's join together. Look what I love what you've got back there.
Thank you. Honestly, don't you love what I've done with the place? My ponytail just blends in with the background.
I love it. You know what? From the first day I met you, always have big love for you and always have big respect for the amount of work that you have done over the years and how you've progressed in the music business and being a force, not just for being a Canadian, but being a woman in this business, as we know how tough it is for women in this business. And now this is the platform to not just grow, but to explode and show everybody that doesn't matter who you are or what your background is, you can achieve. How does it feel being that person in that spotlight to be able to represent the way you do?
Well, I mean, I'm honored, and since day one I met you, I have the same kind of love for you, and I honestly I think it's really amazing, and I'm honored to be in this kind of position where I get to show people that it's not just the guys producing. It's I'm one of very few female producers in Canada as well, and it's especially like with this quarantine, I've been like honing this and working on my skills, and I don't really see myself that way. I kind of just see myself always as a student, and I'm always learning. So I I don't see this like kind of position that I'm in, but thank you for, bringing me back there and saying, actually, no, you are in this kind of position.
You definitely are. But a little bit, I'm a little angry with you, just so you know.
Tell me.
I didn't get an invite to the wedding, and congratulations on that. How's the wife doing? How is the whole relationship going, especially with COVID? Because, no putting out bad luck, but I mean, some people have split up because of it. How are things going with you guys?
Thank God. Honestly, we were supposed to have like a 450-person wedding in downtown Montreal, and we ended up having this beautiful, intimate wedding with just our close families, about 15 people. We set up a huge tent at my brother's house, and it was amazing. It was the best day of my life, and as it should be. But it's crazy because COVID has really kind of excelled our relationship where we would normally not be spending much time together. We're spending like every waking moment together, but we just love each other. Like she's my best friend, and I always talk about our relationship like it's like having a constant sleepover with your best friend. Like it's just great. Honestly, I highly recommend marrying your best friend.
There you go. But look, I'm not throwing out any rumors or anything because I think you posted this. Did you steal her from somebody else or
I did. I did.
do you mind if I ask? Because you did post it. So can I
I
ask
did.
what happened?
So I was dating somebody 3 years ago, and we had just broken up, and it was I guess she was like a little bit bitter about the situation, and we didn't work out, needless to say. But she told me that she was dating somebody who's a million times better than me. And I was like, okay, great. Like, continue dating this girl. She sounds awesome. She's like, she's a dancer. She's from Montreal. She's like beautiful. And I was like, sounds like a good match. Continue dating her. So my ex at the time said, she got upset at me for encouraging her to move on. And she was just a little bit bitter about it. And then they ended up not working out. And I was in Montreal, and I was doing a show in Montreal, and I was backstage, and I was just swiping on this app called J Swipe, which is like Jewish Tinder.
Mm.
And I see this gorgeous girl who's a choreographer living in Montreal, just doing her thing. And I just messaged her. And then I realized, oh boy, that's the person my ex is telling me about. And so that was a really interesting icebreaker. And we ended up getting married.
You are gangster, big time. I That is the best story, especially because I don't know if you've seen this on Facebook. Somebody's been posting about if your ex messages you and says, I found somebody better than you, what do you say back in 3 words? I guess you say, I got her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, oh, she's better than me. Let me try it. Let me see for myself.
Oh my God. Well, I am so happy for the both of you. Please tell her I said hello too.
Thank
And I'm
you.
looking forward to you two making beautiful music for the rest of your lives together. But for now, you're making beautiful music for us. You've just released a new single that, if I want to use that term, gangster too, because I have never heard your voice so beautiful and so clear, and so much strength in this from the first day that I met you. What's the name of the new single? And you can tell me the concept behind it too. And then I'd love to hear about how you recorded this, because this is also something very important that's part of all this.
Yeah, I love this song. It's awesome. And like the first time I kind of heard the demo back to me, I was like, this is something. Like it's so simple. You don't need to put too much on it. And it's kind of like you said, the vocals speak for themselves. But I had to record this probably about 60 times since last year to get the right vocal take on it. Because at first it was this like I was singing it as if it was kind of like this powerful anthem, just like as big as it can be. And then, I sat back with my A&R team and we're listening to it and we're like, you know what? I think I need to relax on this. So for the verses, I was kind of laid back and I recorded it like five different takes, five different times, just relaxed. And that was the goal of it. And I think, myself and my team, we really achieved that. And I'm really happy you like it. I also forgot the initial question you asked me as I was rambling.
That's okay. Then the name of the song,
The
and
name
what,
of the song is 50/50.
50/50. Okay, what's the song about?
So it's about, at first glance you would listen to it and you go, okay, this is a sour relationship, right? But what it really is, it's the anthem of a person who found themselves in a situation that they really were uncomfortable with, didn't like, and they found the power within themselves to pick themselves up, realize what they deserve, and move on. And that's what it's about. It's about recognizing your self worth. It's about recognizing what you do and you don't deserve versus staying in something and being complicit in order to make another person happy and to not hurt their feelings.
Look, not to knock anybody, but this sounds almost like your girlfriend who, well, I should say your wife, who went through with what your ex. Are we looking at that story?
We're looking at a similar story. Yeah.
Amazing. Now, I also want to talk about recording this because, of course, we've been dealing with COVID-19 for the last 13 months. Places have
Mhm.
been opening up, closing. People have been making their own studios. People are making virtual studios. How did you guys end up recording this, especially if you're doing 60 takes?
Yeah. It's pretty crazy. I actually, at the beginning of the pandemic, I had made the move to Montreal. So my home base is now in Montreal, but I travel back and forth. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry, somebody's trying to call
That's okay.
me. Jeez.
It's probably
Um,
your ex. She's probably heard what we're talking
yeah,
about.
she heard us talking. So at the beginning of the pandemic, I moved to Montreal and we bought a house. And I was like, great, this basement is amazing to make a studio. So I actually made a home studio in my basement, which I now make all my music in. And that's where I've started recording this song. And so I started recording it, and then I got together with Andrew Martino, who his producer name is Marty Martino. You may know him from Down with Webster and Honors. He's awesome. Basically, the two of us collaborated on the production on this, and I would send my vocals back and forth between him and myself. And yeah, so it was just a lot of back and forth and a lot of zooms and a lot of me, when regulations were slightly lifted, I would like jump back to Toronto and like get in Slate Studio and just really work on it together like that. But it's been really cool because it's allowed us to realize that we don't need to be in the same room to make something awesome.
So a lot of people are realizing too, the video. black and white, very artistic. Who came up with the theme and the style for this?
Oh, this was awesome. My manager, Katrina, she's the producer on this, and she has so many amazing ideas, and she is all about getting the best team together to execute the best idea. And so she put together like an amazing team of not too many people because it's COVID, but her friend Tanvi, who I had never met before, she basically told me that her friend Tanvi is a an amazing, amazing photographer and is looking to get into video direction. And I always trust Katrina because she's just has amazing intuition on people. And so when I first met Tanvi, I was, blown away by her excitement and just effervescence on making this video amazing. And I got stoked because she was stoked, and she had all these ideas to put something really simple together, just kind of strip me down to the most vulnerable side of myself. And that involved playing with different shades, and that was just black and white and different shadowings. And she really, really pulled this together. And we had an amazing crew on set. We had Jamel, Richard, and Jason, and we had Glamzilla doing my makeup, and Tanvi was directing, and it was incredible.
It does come out so beautiful because of your vocals, and then what we're seeing too, it's almost like we're seeing a different shade of yourself that we've discovered because of COVID-19. And I don't think we would have had that if this didn't happen. So at least we have something good that came out of that. Are we going to see an EP or an album following this?
No plans for an EP or an album yet. I'm still really loving the singles world we live in right now.
Mhm.
I love that we can give little bites of something that may or may not happen. So I don't want to say too much about it, but you're looking at a lot more singles in the
Uh,
future.
Okay, we're looking forward to that. Hopefully, in the future, we're not going to deal too much more with this COVID-19. How have you personally been, not just dealing with COVID-19, but dealing with the things that we've seen in the last 13 months? And I've been asking everybody about this, from Black Lives Matter to the what happened at the U.S. Capitol being stormed, the election in the U.S., Kevin and Karen's. You know, now we've got shots. Do we take a shot? Do we don't take a shot? Do we wear a mask? Don't we wear a mask? The fighting, all these crazy things that we've been seeing on social media, news, out our windows. I mean, how have you coped with this? And what are your thoughts on the last 13 months?
I think it's just been a really eye-opening last 13 months, and I think everybody being at home has made everybody a lot louder on social media, I think. But as long as my thoughts are, it's so important to spread good messages. And so when people take the time to really, really investigate real issues that I don't know why now people are bringing this to light when this has been going on for centuries. Um, I don't think it's any new. I really don't. I just think now we have a lot more awareness, and it's so important for people to use their voices on social platforms for the good. And I'm happy to see that. I'm really saddened to see a lot of stuff going on in the world that is just terrible. And so when I see people standing up for what they believe in, it's so important. But I for my mental health, I try and not look at the news too much and
Mhm.
kind of, just to stay sane, because if I sit on the news all day, I'm just going to be like angry. So
You
I try to
speak,
filter myself.
you speak the truth there, because sometimes I've literally had to, maybe on the weekend or for 3 or 4 days, especially leading up to the U.S. election, I just said I can't do this. I would turn it off and just sort of get a. So, what advice can you give folks out there who, of course, are going through all this, but have like lost their jobs, lost loved ones, lost relationships? What advice can you give them that hopefully they can still, get through this and get to the end of the tunnel?
I have these conversations with my wife too, because she's a dance studio owner, and she is, in Quebec she sees, malls are open and movie theaters are open, but her dance studio, which is very like pretty small, can't open. And I really do feel for small business owners. I really do, because this is just, it's a huge blow, and it's a moment in history we're living through right now. But I always say that everything does happen for a reason. And even if you don't believe it, fake it till you make it. Always just pretend there is a reason, there's a bigger purpose this is happening. And that's my way of getting through everything. If something bad happens to me, I take it as an aha moment, kind of okay, this happened. Now let's reset. Let's rethink about everything that's been going on, and how can we come out of this really strong and at the top of our game.
I love that. And speaking of which, too, one of the things I've been doing with all the artists is masks, because I've got, honest to God, I probably have 40 different washable masks. And
Me
I'm
too.
just curious, what is your favorite mask design? I'm just curious.
I have it right here.
Cool. Let's see.
My team,
There we go.
Toronto Leafs. Sorry to my wife, who's a massive Habs fan, but this is my jam.
Okay, so what is it like to wear that walking around in Montreal?
Oh my God. Sometimes you get booed. Sometimes you yell at you in French, but you know what? It's my pride.
I love it. Oh my goodness. As we're wrapping this up, are you going to be doing any virtual performances, or are you going to be, of course, it's getting warmer and I'm hearing that drive-in performances may be happening more, anything like that with you?
Yes, definitely. So we are gearing up to do some live. They're going to be happening, obviously virtual for now, but hopefully we're going to get on a live tour, and it's going to happen soon.
Okay, it sounds like you've got plans, but you can't let us in just yet because you still got to get the details taken care of.
Yeah.
Okay, we can leave it to that. But of course, to get the answer for sure, social media is the place to go, because I know you're always out there posting. Where do we go to follow you?
You can follow me on Instagram at the Kayla Diamond, and it's the same handle for Twitter and TikTok at the Kayla Diamond. Give me a follow.
I'll tell you something. Your last name is perfect for you and who you are and your personality and what you're all about. A Diamond. Thank you so much for doing the interview. Thank you for the great music. Say hello to your wife for me, please, and tell her hang tight. Things are going to get better. And I'm looking forward for her opening up her studio. I'm looking forward to you coming back to Toronto and perform, because it's been a long time. And I'm also looking forward to you and I speaking, not on Zoom, but in person, one on one. I love you, and please be safe. And thank you again for the interview.
Thank you.